I know clients will not submit all their claims within that timeline. Advise us of how those late claims would have been handled.
During the process, the liquidation team did everything to try and advise all potential claimants. We reached out to as many people as we could have to get them to submit their claims within that time frame. However, if there are claimants or potential claimants who have not yet completed a claim, we encourage them to still do so. They can file late claims, but we caution there will be some implications for the priority ranking for payment of those claims. So you can still submit the claims and it will be processed, but when it comes time for payment, there might be some implications, or there will be some implications for the ranking of payments.
At what point would these claimants receive their funds, and whom?
First, there's a process, and the deadline for submitting claims was the 29th of October. There's a 90-day period after that by which the claims would be processed and a determination would be made as to the validity of those claims. The central bank by law will prescribe the procedures for the liquidator to use to determine the validity of those claims. Based on those procedures, the liquidator and his team will evaluate those claims and make a determination for each claim.
How would you guys categorize those claimants?
Well, the liquidator and his team would have evaluated each claim. We had different claim forms, and we advised claimants during the process that, look, regardless of the claim form that you used, it would not result in your claim being rejected. There's no such thing as a wrong claim form, but we use those forms for administrative purposes. Your claim might get a little delayed as a consequence of using a form that might not be the most appropriate one for your particular claim. However, we can assure you that no claim would be rejected as a consequence of the form which was used. Now, based on the various categories of claims, we have provided a description of the services and the nature of the relationship between the claimant and Choice Bank Limited. And on that basis, along with other factors, we believe the central bank will make a determination as to which claims are valid and which ones are not valid, or the extent to which claims are valid or not valid.
You mentioned earlier about the rejected claim. What would be some of the reasons that a claim would be rejected?
Well, claims can potentially be rejected based on duplication. It might be certain claims which would have been filed with card partners and we see it as a duplication. There might be claims which have no valid basis. For example, the relationship with Choice Bank Limited might not have been established. There might be no supporting documentation for those claims. But I'll say this, we make every effort to try and ensure that we do not unfairly reject a claim or declare a claim to be invalid. It is our responsibility to process as much as we possibly can and to give all the potential claimants an opportunity to claim. In the event a claim is rejected by the liquidator or a portion of a claim is rejected, that potential claimant or that claimant still has an opportunity to appeal the liquidator's decision to the Central Bank of Police for a decision. So the liquidator's word on that is not final.
So where do we go from here?
Well, by now claims would have been in, or at least a deadline for claims would have passed, but we will still encourage anyone who believes that he or she might have a claim against Choice Bank, go ahead and file the claim. Your claim will be processed. As we indicated earlier, there might be some implications for ranking priority of payment. The validity of claims will be decided by January 29, 2019. That is the final date by which the claims will be decided. The liquidator will be communicating with claimants throughout that period from now through January 29. And remember, where your claim or a portion of your claim was not accepted as valid, you will have an opportunity to appeal that decision to the central bank. Thereafter, we will start making preparations for payment, at least a partial distribution. The first available date would be March 1, 2019. In the meantime, we will say to you that we will be updating the website with information, and we will be communicating to each claimant. So we ask you to have some patience, and we thank you for your time and your attention.
You mentioned that January 29th, 2019 is where you will basically confirm what portion of that claim amount will be valid. And if I am a client that is, we don't have the same amount, I'm only given up to March, which will be March of 2019, that the central bank will then confirm if my claim is valid versus your claim is.
Let me clarify. After the decision has been communicated by the liquidator to the claimant as to the extent of the claim which was determined to be valid, if the claimant is not satisfied with that decision, the claimant may appeal the liquidator's decision to the central bank. In instances where the liquidator has determined that a portion or all of a claim is invalid, the liquidator will advise that particular claimant as to what that claimant may do or how that claimant may go about appealing that decision. So the claimant will then have to sit and wonder, what do I do next? We will provide that information, how you may appeal our decision. We will be providing that guidance, yes, to those potential claimants. We are not here to deny anyone of a claim against Choice Bank, but what we want to do is to be fair, and we want to liquidate the bank in accordance with the provisions of the law, so that we will make sure everybody has an opportunity to make their claim and to appeal if they're not satisfied with the decision of the liquidator.